Ed Mylett is one of the premier business leaders, peak performance experts, and motivational speakers in the entire world. And he has a passion for mentoring and coaching others on what it takes to become a champion in all areas of life. And he also has one of the fastest growing podcasts in the world. Not only that, he shared the stage with business legends like Tony Robbins, John Maxwell, and Andy Frisella, who he's now partners with in an entrepreneurship community called the Arete Syndicate. Ed Mylett is someone we highly respect and admire here at American Snippets. So we decided to share our take on his top 10 secrets to success. Max out, enjoy, like, leave a comment, share, and let us know your thoughts.
I come from a wonderful, beautiful family, but a dysfunctional family, like some of you come from. I come from lower middle class upbringing. I'm an incredibly shy and insecure person naturally. I know what it's like not to believe in yourself. I know what it's like to have doubt. I know what it's like to have that kind of doubt as of last Monday. I know what it's like to be backstage hoping you like what I talk about today, even though I've given hundreds of speeches just like this. Not the same content, but the same thing. So I tell you, when I tell you that I have respect for you, that I admire what you're trying to do with your life, I mean that sincerely. I know what it's like to want to change your life's conditions. I know what it's like to want to win for your family. And I know what it's like to not be totally sure you're gonna do it. And I know what it's like to fake you can't make it until you do.
A good person in any endeavor will only take from it what they think they deserve, what they think they're worth. In other words, if there was a pizza here, you're a good person. You don't take all 12 pieces. And so you have this governor on your identity. So what happens is it's like a thermostat. Our lives get going. We start doing really well. If we're a 75 degreer and our life gets to 85 and 90 degrees, we start to cool life back down to get it back to where we're comfortable. The reverse is also true. When things start to go really bad and you're broke and you're struggling, you find a way to heat your life back up to what you think you're worth and you deserve. So the way we alter our life is that we alter that governor, that thermostat, and we start to believe we're worth 85 degrees of life, 95 degrees of life, 110 degrees of life.
Most people, if we gave you just enough money, if there's a certain dollar amount, you'd stop working hard.
Wow,
we give you a title,
that.
you'd stop working hard. We give you a car or a plane or a house. You can't get me. There's not a stop, a place, a destination where you're going to get me to relent, to quit. I want to improve. That doesn't mean I don't struggle with my motivation from time to time. Doesn't mean I don't get confused or down. Of course I do, but I'm not for sale.
My baseball dream ended. I had an injury. And so when I got released, I ended up moving back home with my parents. I couldn't find a job. I was depressed. I spent about a year at my parents' house. And my dad said to me, hey, I met this guy at a meeting. I got you a job. You get your ass down there tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. It was a group home, a campus of group homes. All my boys were wards of the court. They were removed from their family either because their parents were incarcerated, killed, or were molesting them. And I became like their father. I was there with them on Christmas and Halloween and their birthdays, and I lived with them. And it changed my world because in that instant, I went from being this athlete who was ego, recognition, significance, gonna get rich, it's all about me. All of a sudden in that instant, it became about serving people, making a difference. And I'm like, oh, this is what makes me happy.
In any business, I don't care if it's financial services, tech, dry cleaners, entrepreneurs, the first 5 years is just full of false starts. Constantly negotiating in your mind the price you're paying. Is it worth it? Should I quit? Struggling and struggling and struggling. And I went broke. I lost a car. I had the water turned off in my place. Then I made some mental changes and some shifts that altered my life then again.
I got a mentor when I was really young. Hall of Fame baseball player named Rod Carew, who most of you out there would probably know, grabbed me when I was a young man and started pouring belief into me.
How young was that?
I was probably 9.
Okay.
He grabbed me, started pouring belief into me.
Why did
he saw me
you?
at a baseball camp, saw that I was a little guy, and so I spent the better part of my youth being mentored and coached one-on-one by a Hall of Fame baseball player. And he didn't just pour baseball tools into me, he poured belief. You're gonna be somebody someday. You're gonna do something great. So I had someone in my ear I respected believing in me from when I was young. I think that helped me.
I grew up what I'd call like middle class, but probably the lower side of middle class too. So I think I've told you this, I think there's an advantage sometimes to growing up rich because you got connections and you see the right behaviors modeled maybe When you're poor, a lot of my buddies that are successful now that were poor, they knew what they didn't want. They were fighting, they learned to struggle. The middle's difficult because good's the enemy of great, right? And so it wasn't horrible, it wasn't like there wasn't food on the table, it wasn't like I didn't get a present on my birthday. No one in my family ever talked about dreaming or winning or being wealthy. Same time, we weren't really running from something either. So there was no stimulus. The stimulus when you're poor is to get out of there. The stimulus when you're rich is to replicate it.
The best persuaders, the best motivators, the best speakers, the best physicians, the best school teachers, the best parents are incredible persuaders. And what they do is they come from a monster place of conviction and belief that they can transfer you to, because people respond to energy much more than they do words. They respond to what they feel, not what they hear and see. Energy, spirit, transfer of energy. And that seems generic or hokey, but it's actually what great persuaders do. In fact, if you're listening to this, you think of anybody that you know who's incredibly persuasive, it's something you feel from them, right?
Everyone gets hammered, man. Everyone gets knocked down. You miss a close. Someone changes their mind. You get rejected in an interview. It's not whether you're getting knocked down. It's not even whether you get up. Everybody eventually gets up. Everybody gets up.
Yeah.
It's the time you're on your ass. It's the time you stay on the mat. Your eyes are closed when you're on the mat.
Yeah.
And so the longer you stay on the mat, just because you've been defeated, you've now become blinded, as you said, and it's a preventer from getting any other opportunity or blessings in your life. So the key is getting your butt up, like literally getting up and opening your eyes again and chasing again.
The separator in life is really important. People think the most inspired, motivated person wins. Nah, not really. It's the person who can work on the days they're not inspired and motivated. What do you do when it's not your best day? How do you do that? Carries you through is rituals and habits. So when you're fatigued, when you're tired, when you're under pressure, you react reflexively. And so successful people rely on habits and rituals, not just their inspiration and motivation level. So when you see someone out of control, their emotions are up and down all the time. This is someone who is without rituals and habits. Successful people have those.
The champions in everything, I don't care if it's your fitness, if it's your family, your faith, you name it, the way that you get great at something is you dive into it and get adapted quickly, and you'll be surprised at your ability to adapt and navigate your way through success. The average people in everything are the ones who constantly take their time. They're too logical. They think, well, I can't do this until I'm ready. If I'm not ready, I'll mess it up. Well, the champions have already dove in, got acclimated. They're out there riding their waves, making progress. You're still on the shore deciding whether you're going to get ready to get ready. You've got to decide that and go. You'll be amazed at your capacity to evolve and to adapt and to succeed.